Anyway, Podcast Monday show. Oh my goodness. Do we have a whole slew of topics to cover for today, including the truth now behind the Virginia Giuffre uproar accident, claiming she's got 4 days to live. We got a little bit more clarity on that we'll share with you. It's another day of tariffs in the United States of America, so we'll share the latest that's going on in that whole part of the world. And because I did see a pre-show poll on our Discord. Join our Discord, by the way. It's hilarious and so much fun. Sometimes, and by sometimes I mean most of the time, better than the actual podcast itself. If Meghan Markle would make the topic list today, again, I feel like I must plead my case here. This was not my decision. I was drowned in Meghan Markle messages today. So we'll address that. And plus, maybe the best topic of the episode, which is a shame it didn't make it into the top 3. Jurassic Park may legit be a reality because scientists have brought back an extinct whatchamacallit? An extinct wolf. There is a wolf that has been gone extinct for over 10,000 years using DNA like in Jurassic Park. Scientists have brought it back. So we got that to deal with now too, which is nice. All that and more coming up on this episode. Hello to everybody. Yeah, see, Mercury knows she's back. See, everybody's laughing because they know Meghan Markle's back in the thing. Morning in Australia, which is where our Virginia Giuffre story begins with Aussie Annie. Good to see you too. Everybody's here. Awesome. Let's get started. So it is Virginia Giuffre's brother, actually, who brings us some light to this story on what exactly it was that went on with his sister over the last couple of days. And it turns out that the confusion here in the "I only have 4 days to live" message, which sparked all of our, attention, that was born out of a doctor saying, if you didn't come in for treatment, you wouldn't have lasted 4 days. So a doctor passes a comment along like, if you didn't come in for treatment, you wouldn't have lasted 4 days. Clearly, she's not dying. She was just released from the hospital, got the care that she needed, and was out. And then so that combined with the car accident, which they believe she did get into the car accident. I don't know if it didn't cause it did not cause the kidney damage. She already had that. She went into the hospital for the car accident, or perhaps she wasn't just overall feeling well. And then the doctor said, it's a good thing you came in. Your kidneys are failing. You wouldn't have lasted 4 days. She puts the message on Instagram instead of putting it on Facebook. And then it blows up into this whole huge thing, which we jumped right into the conspiracy theory pool. I'll be the first to admit it. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. She's dying, bus accident. Like this is, I fell right into the whole ants just trapped in a conspiracy world bit. I will admit it now. Because I was like, there's no way this woman goes through all of this, survives it, comes out the other end, moves to a remote area in Australia, and then gets magically hit by a school bus going 60 miles per hour. Like that would have not computed with me. And then it's causing kidney failure. That's making there was just no way I was going to settle for that explanation. But it is a comical, if not Shakespearean-esque, bit of timing here where everything just kind of happens in bits and pieces. And until you go back and look at the whole story, can we determine how we got to where we were? But it turns out that she's fine. She's out of the hospital. I mean, I'm telling you, it's sad though, because the Daily Mail, who has an Australian outlet, it's the Daily Mail everywhere, but they have a, England office, they have Australia, they have the United States. So their Australian arm, they're all camped out outside the hospital. She slips out, but they've done their due diligence on what's going on with her. And we talked about this a little bit. She's got there was a domestic violence dust up between her and her husband on her end, her to her husband. So she's not living with her family. She's estranged from her children. Daily Mail found out that her son is no longer friends with her on social media, which must be a tough pill to swallow. I mean, it's one thing to have your kids not talk to you. It's another thing to have them not follow you. I mean, my kids are too young for that. They don't have social media accounts yet, but I can imagine that'd be devastating. I don't even know if my kids would follow me in the first place, which I wish they would. Probably better that they don't. They don't know the stupid things that dad says. But they're estranged. They're not doing well. She's got court appearances. But the thing that struck me the hardest was after she settled with Prince Andrew last year or the year before, whenever that was, she went out and she bought a $1.3 million farm. And everybody just assumed that this was going to be like a nice little, our family's going to move to the farm and they'll live together on the farm and they'll do all these things. But it's been her just living there all by herself and the kids and the husband somewhere else, And by the way, not only was there a domestic violence thing, but she breached a restraining order, a family violence restraining order, so that that just tells us it happened more than once. To find herself in this situation. And the worst part of it is, again, the Daily Mail spoke to one of her neighbors, I guess, that's close to the farm, who said, and I'm quoting here, "You don't know the half of it. I can't really say anymore, but none of this surprises me," when talking about the whole, rigmarole, for lack of a better term. Don't you just love that phrase, rigmarole? It was a whole rigmarole. I'd love to know where the hell that came from. Does anybody say rigmarole anymore, or am I just 400 years old? Somebody could let me know in the live chat. That would be great. That would be great. But I feel like there's a whole world of issues in this woman's life. And I just feel so terrible because you think about everything that she's gone through and she's not come out of it. She hasn't come out on the other end well, and now she's losing her family. And, I don't know this woman. I don't know what her problem is, but clearly she's got problems. And it's just sad to see that she hasn't been able to get over everything that she's gone through and raise her family and be, happy with her family. Like you think like, oh, you survived everything. Then you got a bunch of money, so you don't have to worry about money anymore based off of what you went through. You would think it would be smooth sailing, or you would hope for somebody that they would have smooth sailing from that moment on. And then you go to hear about all this stuff. It's unbelievable. Thanks, Paul. I do think that I could brighten up Virginia Giuffre's life. I think I could do a really good job. I mean, I hope she likes dad jokes. If she likes dad jokes even a little bit, I could be the cure for Virginia Giuffre's woes. That's for sure. And the Daily Mail is a rag. Yes. But here's the thing about rags. They have a lot of reporters who are very aggressive and who could get to the bottom of a story. So if you don't want to believe the neighbor quote, I'm okay with that. But this is what they're reporting. And they tend to, this is like in their MO. Like they don't go to, what's the word? Going to a neighbor is a rag move. You know what I'm saying? So, and who knows what the neighbor is hearing and knows just from living next door to her, so on and so forth, that she knows all about this rigmarole, People still say rigmarole. Is that just an Australian thing though, Aussie Annie? Is it just me and everybody in Australia, or is it the whole world? That's what we need to find out. Comment below. Looking for you guys in the replay crew to figure that out. Yeah, that's right, Paul. In my house, we didn't have rigmaroles. We had rigatoni maroles. It was an Italian mess of a situation, basically. Yeah, so I'm glad we got that out there. Tariffs. Oh, yeah, I struggled with this one. I don't know if we call this tariff gate. I don't know how to really approach this. I don't really want to do a whole ton on the Trump administration, only when it's like really necessary. This is obviously a massive story. We discussed on the last episode, 6.4 trillion wiped out of the stock market. I was looking at everything yesterday, Sunday evening, just trying to relax, from the weekend. We had a really busy weekend, and I'm settling in, and I started to see the stories of like, oh, the Dow futures are not looking good, because like Dow futures start trading Sunday night, and they were like, oh, this is not going to be great. And so I thought today was going to be another bloodbath. It seemed to be kind of mixed and volatile. There was, it was really interesting. There was a rumor going around on X that a Trump administration official had said that there won't be any further tariffs, and the stock market skyrocketed. I mean, it shot off. And then once the White House, I guess within 45 minutes to an hour, was able to confirm that was not said, it went back down again. So it was really interesting to see what our market is like, because everybody's comparing this to the Great Depression. And, we tried to tariff our way out of the Great Depression back in the 30s, and that did not work. And it was a wild failure, which is why a lot of people have a problem with the tariffs this time around, rightfully so. History shows us that doesn't really work. But everybody's using like that as an example. But the stock market back then didn't have social media to contend with. Back then they were you found out how your stock did the next day in the newspaper. That was up until recently too, right? Like I could remember being a kid and my grandfather just breaking open the paper and taking his little pencil and underlining or circling all the stocks he owned so he could see how they did for that day. Like that's what he used to do. Now we check our phone and we know up to the minute what's happening. Whereas back then it moved a lot, the world moved a lot slower. So it's always interesting to see what's happening, with social media and how that is now influencing so heavily our financial markets. But there's a couple of interesting things that I do want to discuss with the tariffs here. One is that Benjamin Netanyahu visited the White House today and without even being prompted was like, hey, by the way, I know tariffs are like a hot topic. We are going to eliminate all our tariffs. It was the most decisive talk from a politician I had seen in a long time. He was like, this isn't talk. This isn't intention. We're not going to go back and talk about this. He's like, I am going to eliminate the tariffs between Israel and the United States immediately so that we don't have to tariff each other. And then he goes, and I encourage everybody else to work out similar agreements. Now, Benji knows where his bread is buttered, right? Needs the United States and Israel, important allies in the world, right? And just best friends. The United States, always great with Israel. United States under the Trump administration, first time around, this time around, tight bonds there, right? He's done a lot for Israel, the President Trump. So Betty knows, the strong move, like bold move, like let me get out on this guy, and he knows how the president is. So let me get on this guy's good side and encourages others to do the same. Well, so I found that to be interesting. I found that to be because everybody thinks that the tariffs aren't going to work. And here's one country right out of the gate going, we are going to acquiesce to the president's demands. So that's interesting. And then a little while later, I hear the EU union, they pop up and they make a statement that they're like, we're open to negotiating. We know we need to have a negotiation. And they did say, we will retaliate if we have to, but we're going to try and negotiate our way through this at first, which I found really interesting. Because then I'm like, oh, now possibly dominoes are starting to fall here. And then, true to form, Trump is like, we're not going to negotiate with those people. He was just like, he shut that down so quickly. Their offer specifically was a 0-for-0 tariff resolution to remove industrial fees on U.S. goods. And Trump was asked about that just a few hours ago, or if not an hour ago. And he basically shut down this proposal for 0-for-0 tariffs on industrial products, saying the offer was not enough to reverse 20% duties on imports. Trump's quote, to be concise, was, the EU has been very tough over the years. It was formed to really do damage to the United States in trade. They don't take our cars like Japan in that sense. They don't take our agricultural product. They don't take anything practically. We have a trade deficit with the European Union of $350 billion, and it's going to disappear fast, he added. And one of the ways that can disappear quickly, one of the ways that can disappear easily and quickly is they're going to have to buy our energy from us. He was also asked about whether or not the global tariffs imposed on Saturday were merely an opening for further negotiations, and Trump responded, quote, we're not looking at that. So I will say, disagree or not, he is playing his hand and he is sticking to his plan here, even though the first 3 days of this have really been kind of disastrous for the market and overall public opinion. Now we have a financial expert on this podcast. You know her well. Her name is Jay Sabs. Jay Sabs, how are you?
Well, being that I am the only one who has worked on Wall Street in this podcast, I am your financial advisor.
You are. You are the financial guru. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you worked more on the coke and planning parties with strippers end of Wall Street, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And the Fidelio.
What's a Fidelio?
Are you stuck in 1950? Do you not? Okay. Anybody in the comments know what a Fidelio is?
Apparently, I said rigmarole earlier, so yeah, I think I am stuck in the 50s. So what's the Fidelio?
A Fidelio is a place where it's like a cover, like it could be like the store. It's like a storefront, and in the back, you could get beiges.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it was a big joke. I mean, where you going? I'm going to Fidelio. Oh, okay, cool.
So that was a typical. That was a place. It wasn't like, oh, this is a Fidelio, and there's another Fidelio on 10th Street, and there's a better Fidelio downtown.
Correct.
Got it. Oh, got it. See, I never got back room BJ's. That was my problem. I never was able to take it.
That is a problem.
Although, all right, I'm going to keep this story very vague because it's not my story. There's people involved in this story that I don't know. It's just one of those things I never want to talk about. Let's just say I was working somewhere and there was an occasion coming up. And so the people were planning on going to one of these places. And one of the people that I worked with whipped out a card and was like, here, you're going to need this to get in.
Ooh.
Have I told this story before? I feel like I have. But
no, is it a strip club?
It wasn't a strip club per se. I don't know. It was like, again, I didn't go. And from what I can remember, it was in like a regular building, like an office building or...
Oh, so probably it could have been a Fidelio. You missed your chance. You missed your chance.
Yeah, it was like a... Yes, I mean, I know you just said it was it a strip club? It wasn't a strip club, but it was it was like a undercover strip club.
Okay.
Or sex club, I guess. I don't know. But one of the people broke out like a business card and was like, "Here, you're gonna need this to get in."
Yes, that reminds me of the place where my friend worked during lunch. Remember the one who, not friend, coworker. Remember she was a, whatchamacallit? What's the girls where they like curse you out and just make you feel like shit?
A dominatrix.
Yes. Or Janine.
You are the dominatrix on this show. I didn't even realize that until just now.
Dominatrix and financial advisor. Thank you very much. That's the So she did it during lunch hour, and it was a regular building.
Yeah. Oh, so she had like a spot that she would go to?
It was an office building.
Yeah.
And I guess they rented out one of the floors for lunchtime dominatrix duties.
That's exactly what this is.
You know what? I have to say, I'm a little upset that I never did that because she told me, you should come do it for the lunch hour. You'll earn $200. And I was like, oh, okay.
You would have been so good at it and you would have enjoyed it.
Yes. Actually, she's probably like, you'll probably get off doing this. Never mind. No, she actually was like, I think you would be really good at it. And I was like, I guess I don't know. Just maybe just my humor. I don't know. She was just like, I think you would be really good at it. Come on, try it one day.
Well, that was going to be what I was going to say to you. If I could be so bold and honest.
Okay.
You do tend to lean towards the humor. I don't know if you would have been able to keep it serious for, because I think some people like to get laughed at, but some people probably not. They don't want to be humiliated by being made like, I don't know, would they respond to a joke? I feel like you'd have to be serious with some people the whole time. I don't know if you could do that.
Oh, I definitely could do that.
You could?
Yes.
Interesting.
Come on, let's try it out.
Follow-up question. Would your husband be okay with this? If he knew there was no sexual contact whatsoever, he just had to like whip a few people and pour some candles on people.
And smoke in a bag. That's I'll tell you what this girl did. This one guy, I think I've told this before here.
You have. Yeah, it's a good story though. Go ahead.
The guy wanted her to put a plastic bag around his head, poke a hole in it, and smoke and put cigarette smoke in it. So
yeah, it's so weird.
It's just, he has a bag over his head and cigarette smoke is being filtered through.
What happens there? Like an abusive mom used to smoke in the house or something, and that's what he grew up with?
I'm really upset that I never tried it. I should have done it.
Is it too late? I feel like you could still do it. Late. Yeah.
I mean, come on, Janine, you dumbass. I could have made easy $250, $300 for an hour.
Did your friend have sex with the people though, or it was just all non-sexual?
There was no sex at all.
Yeah, see, that's easy money.
It was a lot of guys going there wanting to be talked down, cold liberal pussy.
See, for as broken as women are, they're not that broken. Right. There's no women being like, treat me badly, treat me poorly, say bad things to me. No women is saying that.
I should have done it. But anyway, when she told me where it was, I was like, there's no way. And she said, no, that's the building. And I said, but it doesn't look like a dominatrix building. Exactly the point.
Yeah, because in your mind, your innocent mind, you're thinking like, what, there's going to be a dominatrix sign out front,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that weirded me out too, though. The fact that there was like, but from what I understand, this club that this person was in, it like moved around. It was like they let you know where it is.
Yes.
And this was like, there was text messaging. I think it was either text or it was like some message board website or something that you had to go to find out where it was that week.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
That also reminded me of another story this is more specific.
By the way, CNN's not covering the tariffs like this, okay?
Yeah,
Fox News isn't covering the tariffs like this. You're welcome.
Right.
Go ahead.
A friend of mine was on a dating website. Met this girl. Turns out she went to these sex parties all the time at these places. I guess swinging parties that also moved around.
Mm-hmm.
They would have like same locations, but different location every week, if that makes sense. And yeah. And it was very strange because I found the girl's Facebook and then we found the actual website and it's here. It's here on Long Island. So.
What was the name of that site?
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on a second. Spell it out slowly so I get it all. Bird says that there are definitely female cucks, Aunt. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
But are there women who just want to be like? I feel like women's domination is different than men. Like men, you get weird, quirky shit like blow smoke in my face and step on my eyeball, and I think women maybe tied up and maybe a little choking and shit like that. Feels like a lot more normal on the woman's side than the man's side.
Right. Sorry, I'm just tired.
Okay.
Here's what I want. I want to go back in time and I want to say yes to this girl and say, I'll try it out.
Mm.
Would you
I think
have?
this is good.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Would you think differently of me if I did this?
No. I don't know at what point we crossed any sort of line of expectations, you and I, but it was a long time ago.
Right.
And nothing is going to. You are in your own category. Janine, I see things on the internet and I go, this is what Janine would do. Especially like, what did I see? There was an old lady.
Oh, thanks.
No, there was an old lady. She did something hilarious. And or she was like telling her grandkids about how she used to blow their grandfather.
Yeah, definitely would say something like that.
And I'm like, oh my, this is Janine in like 30 years. I'm like, this is her.
Right. That's it.
So I stopped sending you. I was sending you those things for a while, and then I was like, I have to just leave her alone and stop bothering her.
Right.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think any. No, I wouldn't think any different of you. Other people, I would.
Yeah, because it's almost like you expect me to do that, right?
Yeah.
And I would be really good at it. Right?
I think you would be like one of the most requested. Yeah, I think you would. I think you would be like a shining star. I don't know if there's a dominatrix Tinder, but I feel like everybody would. You would.
Right.
You would climb to the top of that mountain. Now, do they try? Like, okay, how did this girl get clients? Like, did one guy go, "Oh, this is a great dominatrix. Let me suggest it to my friend," because I've never been in the lunchroom and somebody goes, "Aunt, you got to try my dominatrix. She's out of this world."
So supposedly the person who ran it would say, "Okay, you have these people today, or you have these people tomorrow, whatever." Like whenever she could do it.
Oh, so she would just go. Wait, but would she know, or like, would the person be like, "Oh, you like this? Well, then you have to go to Kimberly over here."
I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, because here's what I'm really wondering. Like, was there like a form or something? Like, was there like I'm willing to step on people's balls. I'm willing to blow smoke in people's face. Like, do you fill out a form with all your specialties? How does it work? I'm so curious.
I think they just told her you don't have to do anything sexual at all. All you have to do is pretty much like what she said was most of the men just wanted her to degrade them. Call them pieces of shit. You're ugly.
See, that's the thing. And now Bird is saying no, same and similar kinks. But I don't find, not that they don't exist, it's not been my experience to come across a woman who likes to be degraded. You know what I mean? Like, I maybe
she should quit her day job. Paul, well, she got fired from it.
Her day job or the dominatrix job?
The real job.
Oh, because they found out she was a dominatrix?
She would go on her lunch hour. And sometimes, like when she took longer than an hour, I remember my boss, and his name was Paul. Was like, "Hey, where is blank? Oh, hopefully she's okay." And I'd be fucking giggling. Okay,
because you knew the whole time.
Yep, she was not embarrassed by it at all. Like there was no shame.
Good for her.
She didn't do it for long, but she did do it.
Let's try and keep this episode on the monetized side with Paul's question here, which is, was she into golden showers? Was she into doing that?
No, she never was asked to do that. At least she never told me.
Okay. See, that's another thing too, where I feel like that would be just anxiety ridden for me. I'd be like, make sure I drink enough water before lunch. Yeah, and then you got to go, then you got to hold it, then you're uncomfortable on the subway the whole time. That seems like too much work to do.
Yeah. Oh, no. Here's the thing. Yeah. It wasn't on the subway. It was literally 2 blocks from our job. That's why it was like perfect.
Interesting. Now, did you win anything on the scratch off that you're currently scratching right now?
No, I'm not even. You know what I'm doing? I'm coloring because it's a smelly crayon.
Okay. It is so loud.
Is it really? It might be right next to the microphone.
Okay. Christella says, nah, some women like some effed up shit just like men. See, that's surprising to me. Like, I get women. I get the tied up thing. Again, I didn't understand this until recently. This has been mostly Janine
What?
educating me on what women, being tied up and a little bit of the rough stuff, all that.
Oh
And
yeah, keep
I,
going.
I understand people like to be tied up and shit like that. I just don't like. I feel like a woman dominatrix goes in there and says like a man is useless and he's got a small penis and like I can't imagine a man just like, oh, you have a huge vagina, you have the worst vagina. I don't. Is that what women? I'm sure there is. If you're into that, I would love to hear from you because I just can't imagine that being a thing for a woman.
Yeah, I can't see that being a thing.
Like I could imagine calling a woman like a whore and a slut. I could see that in a sexual context.
Oh yeah, I love when my husband does that. Like he's like, "Oh, you're such. Oh, I'm super sorry."
But but you can't do that to. You can't be like, oh, you sleep with a lot of women, man. Like it doesn't work. Like it feels like there's an opposite there, where men you want to like a man needs to feel pathetic and worthless and a user, a loser, and women it's the other way around. It feels like.
Correct.
Am I making sense of what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, thanks. Women would pay to watch a hot guy vacuum. That I believe. I would lose I don't think my wife would ever cheat on me unless an attractive man came and cleaned our house, and then I have
Yeah,
no
yeah,
chance.
that's the only reason.
Because then she's like, he cleans and he's good looking. These are two things I'm not used to having in this house.
Right.
I can't compete with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you piece of shit. See, I'm good at this.
You cannot practice on the podcast. I'm sorry. We got to draw the line there.
Oh, God.
Well, it's too late now. These are the things that it's just too late. You can't. You're married. You got 2 kids. You got a husband.
This is when I was married. It doesn't matter.
Oh, but it was pre-kids though, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? All I would have to do is really say things I say to them, to these men. How many times am I gonna have to tell you to pick up your socks, you asshole?
Maybe that's why men never get over that childhood screaming because they don't clean up. Maybe that's what it is.
That's true.
Mercury says, do dishes for me. That's hot. Yeah, I believe that. I believe any woman would just love that sort of treatment, just to have a dude come in and clean the whole place. That's a bit. You want to talk about a business, Janine? That's a business.
Yeah, it's true.
Actually, it's kind of a business already. I don't know if this is a national thing, but in New York, we have a company that's called College Hunks Hauling Junk.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew somebody. Actually, you knew somebody who had their son working there, and it's literally just college age dudes showing up.
Wait, I do?
Yeah, you do. It's our mutual friend. Her son worked there for a little bit, I remember.
Our mutual friend whose son worked there.
Yeah, has to do with
College Hunks. Do you know?
Has to do with the person who previously owned your home. Stop! Don't make me say anymore. And her son did it for a little while.
Really?
And it was literally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was literally that. Like just
it.
attractive looking young men come and move stuff.
Well, not for nothing. Her son is freaking hot, so it doesn't matter. In fact, I can want to be like, hey, you left something here.
But it's so bizarre to me that people are like, I want some fat schlub moving it's just moving stuff. Like, do we need to have good looking people do that too?
Yes.
But this company is like, they're a thing. Yes. So I would imagine college hunks cleaning homes is probably a good idea too for lonely women or men who need that kind of thing. I'm dying for a cleaning person. Dying.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's too much. This is why I want the AI robots. By the time you get through all the week's stuff, the kids and Girl Scouts and band and all this crap, and then it's just like, oh, I have a free hour. Should I lay on the couch and do nothing, or should I go clean the whatever?
Right.
You know what I mean? Just to not have that would be such a nice thing.
Speaking of that not that it has anything to do with it, because you Do they move stoves?
Do they move stove? By the way, the stove still in the kitchen. The extra stove still here.
Oh, you have. What happened to your stove? You
I had
got
to
a new
buy
one.
it. Yeah, I had to buy a new. I don't think you were on that episode. I had to buy a new stove, and we got into a little rigmarole with the PC Richards people, so
Why?
they didn't take the old one out.
Yeah, they won't do that.
They will. It's just that
if you pay them $50 or more.
you have to pay them $50, and you also have to pay them to install, which I did not find out until it was too late.
Wait, what do you mean you had to? You didn't know that there was an installation fee?
I knew there was an installation fee. The guy said to me, "Do you want to have them install it for $200?" And I said, "No, my brother-in-law is Superman. He can do it." And I said, "But I do want them to take it away." He's like, "Well, it's $50 to take it away." And I was like, "Great, they could do that." And then when they got here, they're like, "Well, we can't take that away because it has to be disconnected." And because we didn't pay for installation, they refused to touch the gas line. And when I say you refuse to touch the gas line, you turn the nozzle so that it goes off, and then you unscrew it.
How come you didn't want to do that?
What do you mean? How come I didn't want to do that?
You didn't. So you didn't disconnect it. You didn't want to disconnect it.
No, I did. It didn't even dawn on me. It didn't even dawn on me because I was like, "Have my brother-in-law come over and he'll do it. It's no big deal." And then it was like he was like, "Oh, do I have to?" He's like, "I'll come when they come," and I'm like, "No, don't worry about it," because I wasn't thinking like, "Oh, they won't just." I thought they would just turn the thing off and unscrew it, you know. And that's why I was like, "Why am I going to pay $200 of installation? It's an easy thing to do. It's not really that big of a deal to do." And so I wasn't thinking, but the guy was just interested in making a sale. He wasn't like, "Oh, they're not going to take it unless you pay for the installation." Would have been a nice thing for him to say, and let me know those two things were, or to say, have your brother-in-law come when they come. So it's, But again, they don't tell you when they're going to come. We get a text message 15 minutes before. We'll be there.
Thanks.
So anyway, you sound like you were about to say something way more interesting.
What were you talking about?
You started to say, by the way.
Darn it. Come on.
You messed it up. Somebody had a comment earlier that we should do a cuck show. I would love to do a cuck show. I would love to just talk to a panel of cucks and try and figure out how they got to where they are.
Right. How?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm checking my daughter's camera because Eliana, stop picking your nose and go to sleep. Eliana, lay down. Lay down. What? Lay down. That's right, bitch. Go ahead.
Careful, you could be creating a future. Who's the person that wants to be dominated? What do they call them again? Masochists?
Sub.
You could be creating a future sub there if you don't.
Man, I had that pretty fast, didn't I? Right.
Well, we really covered the tariff topic, which I like.
Yeah, I have no idea. I still don't know what a tariff is, but whatever.
Did you see all the protests this weekend?
Yeah, people need to. Some of the signs are pretty ridiculous, but also quite funny. Agreed?
Oh my God. Very much so. I took a picture of somebody that I don't know them personally, but they're on my Facebook. And the sign that they made was, I'll shout her out. I mean, if she wants to take credit for it, she can. But Orange Lives Matter. That's fucking funny. I don't care who you are. That made me. I took a screenshot not to show it on the podcast, but I took a screenshot to send it to Frank to show him how disappointed I was in him that he hadn't come up with something like this.
Did he go to a protest?
I don't know. He could be at one right now, which is why he's not here.
I have to say, I don't think he's ever gone to one, which I find very strange because he's so passionate about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's also Frank. There's a limit to that passion. Just like with me, it's like you can get all fired up about something and then he tires easily. Just right. I'm the same way. You get all mad and upset, and then you're like, I'm just gonna go take a nap. I'm just gonna sleep this one off. I don't think he's ever been to a protest. I think if he did go, though, I'm not sure he would tell us.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if he would tell us. Nor should he. By the way, going back to the cuck stove story, I told as part of the story, I was a little angered by not angered, but I was a little like, huh, so that's strange. When I walked into this store that I bought the hose for the stove from.
The hose for the stove. Go ahead.
Yeah. And they had a sign that said that you had to remove any mask or face covering before entering the store.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of doubt on that, but I took a picture so everybody could see that I wasn't making that up. For the security and safety of our customers and employees, remove any mask or face covering before entering the store.
You've never seen this before?
No, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. And I've been to this store before.
Ooh.
And so somebody I know was messaging, I was messaging with them over the weekend, and they were like, oh, that sign's been up for like years.
Ooh.
And I have been to that store before and never noticed that sign.
Whoops.
I just feel like it's a bit much. Like, I mean, aren't we way past the mask thing, pro or con at this point?
It's not that though. You don't know what it's for?
No.
It's for people who
robbing the place?
Yeah, because people were using the face mask as a way to get into the store to rob it.
Yeah, no, I get that. But even that at this point, I mean, is anybody still doing that? I don't know. And if somebody's going to rob the place and they got their little mask on and their gun and they walk up to the store and there's that sign, are they not going in?
It's to not get caught. You know what I mean? Like they're wearing the mask so they don't get caught. Meaning,
no,
like,
yeah, I get that.
It's dumb though.
But when you roll up to the store, mask on your face, gun in hand,
right?
You're not going to stop because there's a sign out front.
Right. You're still right. Exactly.
You're not going to call off the fellas because, oh, no, we can't rob this store with our masks because there's a sign out front.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess maybe to stop shoplifting, like that probably makes sense.
Right. But does it really matter in New York? Because they don't care if you steal stuff.
I know. Well, not anymore. I feel like, aren't they prosecuting that stuff now? Well, I don't know. We haven't got an update there.
Good question.
What else is going on in your world before I start talking about Meghan Markle? Do you want to talk? You got anything you want to get off J Sab's chest?
I want you to go to Jurassic Park reality first. Then we didn't know what to watch this weekend, right? Because we've pretty much watched every series on streaming. But I saw this movie called Y2K. And you know how everybody was crazed that the world was going to be taken over by robots and computers?
Yes.
Well, they made it happen in this movie, and it was actually pretty good. It was entertaining, this movie, I have to say. There was a lot of 90s music, which I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And even a certain 90s singer made an appearance in the film that you're like, oh, where'd he come from?
Ooh, really?
Yeah, so it was very good. I liked it. Y2K, see, Paul, Y2K looks funny.
Yeah, that's like a recent movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I watched One of Them Days over the weekend because Cat Williams was in it on Netflix.
Okay.
It was okay. I think Megan Thee Stallion is in it.
Oh, that looked.
No, sorry, SZA and Keke Palmer.
This does not look like a movie you would watch.
No, I like all movies.
This looks like a movie I would watch, and actually, I saw the coming attraction, and this is on. But why didn't I think it was called One of Them Days? It's on my list.
It's on your Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Listen, watch it. It was good, but it goes back to my point of every movie I watch on streaming that was made for streaming is not great.
Yeah.
It's so forgettable. I talked about this the other day. I don't know if you heard it, but I watched a streaming movie and then I watched Wedding Crashers and I was howling and I was like, this is what movies
What
used
movie
to be
did you watch?
I forget what it was. Oh, I'll tell you this. But here's this was the other part of my point. Oh, A Family Affair with Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron.
A family. Okay.
Stunk. Not worth it. The movies are not great, but
Did
the
I
TV
watch
shows.
this?
What?
Oh, I watched this one, right? Yes, I did watch it.
She's like an assistant for the celebrity, and then he winds up banging her mom.
Yes.
It's
It was
just like
okay.
it was okay, right? Any quasi interesting premise gets made immediately. But the movies are not that great. But what I was saying is the TV shows are good. I did
Yes.
watch Running Point, and Running Point was great.
We saw that one too. See, we see everyone.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I am at the point. Okay, so here's what happened. Let's not make a big deal out of this. But I happened to wander into the gym yesterday.
What?
I know, it's shocking. I walked into the gym, and the guy in the gym goes, "This isn't the buffet. Did you come to the right place?" And I said, "Yes, I know where I am."
Actually, and he also said, "Sir, you need sneakers, not Crocs."
So I'm in the gym, and I'm like, I need a show to watch just on the treadmill because I like to do other things in the gym, but there's a couple of days trying to get into a little regimen here, trying to just spend 40 minutes walking on a treadmill, right? In addition to doing some other things to try and not die of a heart attack in the next year. So
Right.
I'm like, what can I get into? Because here's the thing, everything I do is with Cuddles. And like, I got into Suits when I was down in Florida with my father, and then she got into it. Like, so then it was like, now I can't watch Suits when I want to because it's one of the things that we do together.
I get it.
Like, I don't have any shows on my own. So I picked Billions. Did you ever see Billions?
Yes.
I don't say anything. But I watched the first episode of Billions and I was like, oh, this is my show. I'm like, this I could do. And then when I came back from the gym and I told her, she's like, Billions, that sounds interesting. I'm like, no, you wouldn't like
You lied.
it. Yeah, I did. No, I'll probably wind up watching it with her too. But it's funny. I didn't even finish the first episode, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I was like, let me finish the first episode, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch that show unless I'm at the gym. So the moral of this story is, I'll never see any more of Billions.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but I was disappointed because I heard that it was about like Steve Cohen. It was like based on Steve Cohen. And like a big, financial, what do they call that? Not bonds.
Asset management. What?
Yeah, one of those places. But I thought that what's his name? The fat guy was the guy.
Oh no.
I didn't realize he's not the Steve Cohen. I thought he was the Steve Cohen guy. So I was a little disappointed in like, oh, he's the good guy. But the show opens with some questionable behavior. So I don't know if you remember.
I do not remember the first episode.
Yeah, did you watch that? Is that a more than one series watch, or did you watch that series and then that's it? You forgot about it?
We stopped watching it in like season 3 or 4, which we have to.
Oh wow!
I think we're gonna have to go back and watch it from season 1.
That was me with Dexter and Orange is the New Black. I've never finished those series. I just lost interest in it. I know, isn't that crazy?
Seasons of Billions. It does have 7. Ooh, I kind of feel like that's okay.
Paul Giamatti is his name. Thank you. Yeah, I thought Paul Giamatti was the guy, but he's not the guy. He's the other guy. What are you gonna do? But yeah, nothing on streaming has been great. Bert Kreischer's new stand-up special is magnificent. Andrew Schultz's new Netflix special is magnificent. Bill Burr's new stand-up special on Hulu is great. All the stand-ups I'm watching are great. It's just none of these movies are all that good.
Well, we actually saw, just me and one of my daughters saw the Minecraft movie this weekend.
That, by the way, set box office records.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I loved it. Okay.
Really?
And I really did, which I was like, oh, going into it, I was like, I liked it because it wasn't a cartoon, because I don't really like cartoons. I know. And I was like, oh, we'll see how she likes it. She didn't say one word from when it started till it ended. And
Really?
I was like, you like this? She goes, yeah, I do. I'll tell you why. Fucking Jack Black. He made the movie. I love Jack Black. I really, really do. I think he's talented, extremely talented. Um, I I think in my mind he's a really, really good-hearted person. There we go.
Mm-hmm. I
Did you
agree.
see what he did when he met the guy? Um, I think it was the Kelly Clarkson show. You know, there's a show on Netflix for people who are autistic, and then they like try to hook up with each other.
Love on the Spectrum.
There you go.
Yeah.
One of the guys on the show said Jack Black was his idol, and he met him on they brought him out. Oh my god, you have to see it. It's the cutest thing, and Jack Black is so good to him. Oh my god. But yeah, I love Jack Black. He really is. He's really funny in the movie too, I have to say.
Yeah, because it got like panned by critics, but then everything coming out of the weekend, people were saying exactly what you were saying. They were loving it. They thought it was great.
Yeah.
And $153 million opening weekend, like that doesn't really happen anymore.
How much was it?
153 million, I
Yeah,
think it
that's
made
pretty
it
good.
in domestically. In everywhere, it was like over 300 million.
He was really he was and so today my daughter had to like write a sentence about the weekend and draw a picture, so she wrote that me and my mom went to go see a Minecraft movie, and then she drew a picture of Jack Black. Oh, how cute is that?
That's so sweet.
Actually, I had to take a picture of it because it's really funny. She drew a picture of a fat guy, and I was like, "Who's this?" And she's like, "Steve from the movie." And I was like, "Oh."
That's cute.
Yeah, it was very good, I have to say. So
All right, go everybody go see. I was gonna go take the kids on Sunday, but we just didn't make it. So maybe next week I'll take them to go see it because they wanted to see it.
I would actually go see it again in the movie. That's how much I liked it. Okay.
Wow, you see, and that's what's amazing. And I bet you it's going to do good repeat business because of the
I
big
think so
weekend.
too.
And
Hmm.
people, it already they were, the film critics. They're like, oh, it already surpassed Snow White. People will never know why that Snow White movie didn't work.
I know.
I mean, it could have been the stars feuding and the Israel Palestine thing, or the fatigue of Disney just remaking live action movie. Like, who's gonna ever really know the truth? But it's so weird that that movie misses 2 weeks ago, and now all of a sudden you have this huge blockbuster with families 2 weeks
I
later.
know. Isn't it weird? That
It's
is weird.
yeah, and they go, well, it's a huge game franchise. Well, yeah,
It
it's
is.
a it is, but also Disney's huge. Like,
Exactly.
it's weird when Disney becomes powerless. It's kind of strange for people.
Yeah, no, it was good. And it kind of reminded me of the Super Mario movie, which he was also in. The way I don't know,
Right.
I can't describe it, but
Yeah. No, people. I heard people make that comparison too, and it surpassed the. It was a bigger movie, video game opening movie than Mario Brothers.
yeah, see?
Yeah. So
I'm surprised about that.
yeah. Now, Bird says that she doesn't watch TV. What's interesting about that? I was just reading this media study that was done. It was like Nielsen or somebody, and they were saying that the like 22-year-olds and younger movie stars mean nothing to them.
Really?
That's what they were saying. There was like this report. It was like an early thing, and you probably could have shaped it a billion different ways. But they were basically like they were given a chance to watch something with like Leonardo DiCaprio or watch something with blank influencer, and they were like, "Oh, I'd rather watch the influencer."
Oh, see?
Which is making a lot of people think that that old Hollywood celebrity system of doing things is like on its last leg, and by the time that the 22-year-olds become 55-year-olds, it's going to be completely dead. Like nobody's going to give a shit anymore.
Right.
Which doesn't that make you wonder though? Like, what are people going to be watching?
Yeah, I know. But you know what I find weird is that we watched this show called Paradise, and I believe it was originally on. God, what was it on that we just watched it on? Paradise. Sorry, on Hulu, and now it premiered tonight on Channel 7. Does that make sense?
No.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do have to say that was a really good show.
That's the one with Sterling K. Brown?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to watch that.
We'll see.
I'm still in Severance. Have you seen Severance?
So we're on season 2, episode 3, and he said, "Do you want to watch it last night?" And I was like, I really have to pay attention to that one. So that's a no for me.
I am on season 1, episode 8, and Cuddles is into it. I'm ready to tap. I'm like, it's too drawn out. I don't know. I just want to know what's happening.
Well,
I don't say anything. Because I have a feeling they're gonna end that first fucking season, and I'm still not gonna know. And then I'm just gonna throw my TV out the window.
Well, it's true because when season 2 started, I had to go back and read the episode blurbs, summaries.
Yeah, I just think you could miss the window on shows, and I think I missed the window on Severance.
Okay.
Because it's just like I think that's the kind of show where if you catch it on a first run when nobody else has seen it, and you're like seeing it, and it's like, wow, what is happening here?
Yeah.
It's like one thing. You could stand through some of the boredom, but we're at the point now where I'm just like, what is the fucking like? You got to give me something here. Like I understand. It's like they beat me over the head from episode 4 to 8 on nothing is as it seems. I'm like, okay, I'm with you. I get it. You're hiding something. Just tell me what you're hiding now.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole thing.
Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda says it's drawn out too. Thank you.
It is, and it's just a little odd.
It's totally odd, and like the premise is so interesting. And like, okay, I can jive with this. I'll see what's going on here. You want to laugh your ass off? The Studio.
So, I previewed that for about 10 minutes, and then I went, "Yeah, we're gonna watch this show."
Janine, it's so good.
Is it okay?
Oh my God. I will admit the 3rd episode wasn't as good as the first 2, but the first 2 were so fucking funny. I'm ready to watch the first 2 over again. That's how funny they were.
Well, I also have something else on my radar too. See, I forgot the name of it right now, but it's about a girl who she kind of has like a sexless marriage, and then she's diagnosed with cancer. So she wants to go have sex with people.
This is like my marriage minus the cancer part.
Right. So, darn, what's the name of it? Michelle Williams is in it. In fact, I'm going to go right now.
All right, while you're looking at that, yeah. Rhonda says White Lotus ending. That's another show I'm afraid I might have missed the window on, White Lotus, because their season 3 just ended. And then Flying Y says Rhonda kind of looks like the woman from Parks and Rec. Is that right? Amy Poehler?
Oh, yeah, she does.
I guess.
It is Dying for Sex, and I want to see it.
Oh, okay. I have a little problem with this show. There's this new, I mean, it's not new, but like Hulu and Disney, and they're all like kind of together now, oddly. Like you put on Disney and you get Hulu shows. Weird. It's a little strange. I don't like it. But I put on Disney and I didn't go to the kids profile. I went to our profile, the adult profile, and the first thing that comes up is Dying for Sex. And I'm like, it's a little, I get it's the adult profile, but it's a little inappropriate for Disney to have this show. Like, keep that show on Hulu.
I know there's a way you can like take that off the main screen, but that's annoying.
Because it's like, because there's some shows there's some like kids movies that aren't on the kid profile for Disney, where it's
Right.
like, this is ridiculous. Like, our kids can watch this. It's fine.
Right.
You know?
Like the movie Kids. Right.
No, not that. No. That movie still scares me. To this day, I think I'm going to get AIDS.
Never saw
because
it.
of that movie.
Oh, let me guess. Now this one's gonna call me. Let me go kill her before I go to sleep.
Go ahead. You have to catch the Jurassic Park on the replay. All right, let's go to Meghan, and then we'll go Jurassic Park. All right, Meghan Markle's taste test. Again, not me. I'm over it. I'm ready to move on from Meghan Markle. However, the New York Post, I believe today or yesterday, maybe, does the Times have a Sunday thing that's a big deal, or is that the Post too? They did a taste test of all. Okay, there's two parts of this. There's the New York Post taste test of Meghan Markle's products, and then there's everything that you guys have been sending me on her products. Okay, so let's start with the taste test. The taste test did not go well, according to the New York Post. They tasted everything. Well, not everything. They tasted the jam, the tea, and the shortbread cookie mix that Meghan Markle put out. And this is what they thought about all of them. Zachary Kusin. No, wait. I want to start with, who's the other guy? Shit. Okay, here it is. All right. So the Post, I guess, has a food critic. His name is Steve Cuozzo. He tasted the spread, the jam spread, and says, quote, "It tastes like the same kind of raspberry spread / jam / jelly / preserve that you could buy in any supermarket in the United States." He says, "It tastes fine. Raspberry jam always tastes fine. There's nothing unique about this." And then the editor, Zachary Kusin, said it has a really high acid profile, making it completely unenjoyable. They also described the sweetness level of the runny fruit spread, as it must be called according to FDA guidelines for sugar content, as polarizing the taste testers. So I guess it was a little runny and not so sweet, and Zachary did not like that. Again, listen, I'm trying to be fair. I know you all want me to explode over Meghan Markle. I get it. I want to too. But to be 100% fair, these are not like crazy critiques. You know, I'm sure it's fucking jam. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, the thing that kills me about this is you're paying $15 for something that is, and by the way, not only for something that you could buy in your supermarket, but you could buy the higher end shit that is supposedly better for way less than $15. You're just buying this to feed her fucking ego. You know what I mean? And the fact that she fucked up her entire life by calling her in-laws racists. That's really it. We should really come out with a cuck jam line. That would be amazing. That would be so good. Oh my God, cuck jam would be so good. That's pretty funny. So it got mixed reviews, the jam. Big deal. I don't like, fine. I don't give a shit. Like, but you would be amazed. You would be amazed at the people in our comments that are like, it's delicious and she's wonderful. I mean, just like we talked about that Nielsen survey of how people under 22 don't care about celebrity, people over 22 are obsessed with celebrity, and it still means something to them. Like a 45-year-old or a 55-year-old, some celebrity that they like puts their name on a product and they are going to go buy it. I don't know if that impact is going to happen to the under 20-year-olds in the world right now. I just don't think this. Influencers, maybe. Big celebrity stars, Hollywood, that whole thing, royals. I don't think it's going to make a difference to them. The commerce reporter, Emma Sutton Williams, said, "I like that there's not a lot of sugar like with a Schmucker's brand." So, okay, so she likes the jelly. Great. So mixed feelings on that. The As Ever shortbread cookie mix with flour sprinkles also garnered mixed reviews, according to their article. Sutton Williams said, quote, "I've tried a lot of shortbread cookie mixes out of a box, and I'm always disappointed. I'm not disappointed with these," declaring the treats an A+. She still noted that the cookies were time and labor intensive, requiring an hour in the fridge and 2 sticks of butter. Well, that's, I mean, if you're making cookies, I think you could dedicate. How frenzied are you that you need I mean, I get that. I get pretty nuts with cookies. I don't want to wait for them either. But if you want them to be good, you gotta wait for them. New York Post senior writer Jeanette Sedembre, awful name, said, quote, did Meghan consult with Paula Deen because these are very buttery forward? Cousin, the editor, said that the cookie was brittle, insipid, and void of flavor. That guy was not holding back. It has the consistency of a hockey puck and the flavor of a hockey puck, he said. Cuozzo, the food critic, had some encouraging words saying, Meghan, Duchess, you're in the ballpark. I guess that's encouraging. For columnist Kristen Fleming, there was a big letdown. The now infamous flour sprinkles that Markle cheerfully employs on her new Netflix show with Love, which is $15 for edible dry flowers, looks uncomfortably close to the potpourri you used to see next to bathroom sinks in the 90s. Yeah. They said they were unfortunately dull, too small to lend any legitimate pop of color or flavor. There was such a big deal made out of them that I expected them to be like this piñata coming out of the cookie, and it just looks like a few colorful crumbs. Janky, declared Setembri. One thing all the taste testers seemed to agree on was that the herbal peppermint tea, $12, was as bland and beige as the oatmeal-hued Jenny Kane sweater Markle wears on the show. Jenny Kane a thing? I don't even know what that was over my fucking head. But going back to the edible flowers, I want to talk about this because immediately, and forgive me because I don't know who said it to me first, but a lot of people did. Somebody's going to call me out in the comments, and I'm going to shout you out on the next episode because you got it to me first, and you'll know who you are. Immediately, when I had my last blow up over Meghan Markle, somebody goes, and edible flowers are easily purchased on Amazon. It's interesting to me because I don't have a desire for edible podcast hosts don't really run across edible flowers all that often. I mean, I go eat at a restaurant and I'll go, what's this flower? And then they go eat it and I eat it and I go, oh, it's delicious. It does enhance the dish. But I didn't know that you could buy that on Amazon. And it turns out not only can you buy it, but you can buy it so affordable. As cheap as $9.99, $8.99 over here. And then everybody's sending me this thing. Like, I think it was, let me see here. I think it's this one. The Mag Joe is like almost identical to what Meghan Markle has, which goes back to my point about the candles, how there's a trillion different candle designs and literally like 5 candle factories. Like, and it's probably the same thing. So she literally just took something and slapped her label on it and sold it, which I don't begrudge. That's what a lot of people do. But for people to find success, like there's got to be some kind of an angle. You know, there's got to be something. Okay, my kids go crazy for Mr. Beast. They love this guy. I like him too. You know, he came up in YouTube at a time. I got to see his ascension, right? And it was always interesting. And I always admired this kid. If you don't know Mr. Beast, he made his name on the internet because he would do these crazy things like give money to homeless people. And there was always like a niceness to it, you know? And then he started to get a lot of attention. And then brands started to want to sponsor his videos. And so a brand would come and say, hey, we want to pay you 20 grand to mention us in a video. And he'd be like, great. And he'd be like, hey, this brand paid me 20 grand for this video. And I'm going to give the 20 grand to somebody who really needs it. And then he got even more views. And it was just this overpouring of niceness that became this huge brand known as Mr. Beast. And he recently came out with a chocolate bar, right? Called Mr. Feastable, like a play on Mr. Beast. And we talked about him because during the pandemic, he opened up a ghost kitchen at a lot of restaurants to try and save the restaurant industry, selling cheeseburgers or whatever it was, right? Mr. Beast burgers or whatever they were not great. The chocolate bar I tried was okay. But I can respect this person because they had such an original idea. They built themselves from nothing into something. There was a genuine quality behind them. There is uniqueness to their brand. And so when they just like roll out a regular old chocolate bar, you don't feel guilty going back and buying a second one, for your kids, because it's like, at least this is like going towards something. It means something. It's like, yeah, I could buy Hershey's bar too, or I can give the money to Mr. Beast, who's going to continue to use it for all these entertaining videos and all this wonderful stuff, So it's like, I don't know if Mr. Beast opened up a chocolate factory or if he just went to Hershey's and said, hey, can you put these Mr. Beast wrappers on your chocolate bars for us? And it doesn't even matter because it's born out of something special. When it comes to Meghan Markle, there is nothing special. There's nothing. And I hate to break it to people who she means a lot to, which is beyond me that could even happen. But judging by my comment section, I know that exists. And the truth of the matter is there's not a lot of talent there outside of some acting ability. And this is just not her space. Having a cooking show where literally zero cooking takes place, where people are forced to come on your show because of Netflix, and Netflix is only in it because they dug a hole with you from the beginning because they thought this was going to be a lot of content, which turned out to be nothing. And then they paid $100 million for it. And now they're at a point where they're like, all right, well, give us a piece of your lifestyle brand so we could try and make this worth our while. So it's become an experiment where she's essentially on her way out. I mean, as all this stuff fails, which it will, we're not going to hear from her anymore. We're just not going to hear from her anymore. And we're going to look back on it like, wow, wasn't that hilarious? Remember when Meghan Markle had a moment where she was buying Amazon edible flowers off of Amazon and then selling them for a $5 markup because she said it was in a keep safe jar? I mean, we're just going to look back on this time and laugh at it. And anybody who was like, oh, she was great, they're going to look back on it and go, what was I thinking there? The same way we do now with the pants we wore in the 90s, right? And we can say that for any day. Any pants you wore 15 years ago, you look back on it and you go, what was I thinking? That's exactly how we're going to look back on Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is pants from 15 years ago. That's it. Feels right now. You think you might be cool and onto something. Nope. Turns out 15 years later, what a mistake it was. So this edible flower trend, and I'll even give her some credit because I'm like, I don't even know any other celebrities that are selling edible flowers. But here's the reason why. If you could make money off of edible flowers, I bet you Goop would have done it. But it's edible flowers. And if you really need that, you can go on Amazon and get it. Like, I don't think you need a fucking brand, a lifestyle behind edible fucking flowers. Nothing that Meghan Markle does is good. Nothing. I would kill for a Meghan Markle sex tape. Oh my God, would that be satisfying? No, you know what I'm really waiting for? I'm waiting for the meltdown of Meghan Markle. I'm waiting for the leaked tape where she's just screaming at an intern or the lighting guy or whatever, where she's just flipping out because I know she's miserable. I know she is unhappy. And as these things continue to fail and she continues to grasp on to stardom, we're going to see the true nasty Meghan Markle come out. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because she's just grasping it. Remember when she had a podcast? Oh, it was the biggest thing. Yeah, Meghan's podcast, everybody. Listen to Meghan's podcast. Isn't Meghan's podcast wonderful? Nobody listened. Nobody liked it. And I forget who it was with. Spotify, maybe. They cut their losses and they were like, this is unbearable. Mind you, podcasting is a free medium. We have unlimited hard drive space between YouTube and Spotify and everywhere else to store and make available podcasts. And the Meghan Markle podcast got to a point where they were literally like, okay, you can't make this anymore. I mean, isn't that not unbelievable? It's the easiest. You don't need anything for a podcast. You literally don't need anything. I mean, you barely even need a phone. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure there's a company out there where you could pick up a payphone and dial a toll-free number and record a podcast. Okay? It takes zero skill, next to no ability. Trust me on this. And it's free. Every podcast, you can go, how do I start a podcast? And they'll tell you, here's a site. It's free. You go and they'll store a You can talk for 7 hours straight. They'll store it for free. They'll put it out for free. No restrictions. And with all of that runway, they went to Meghan Markle and they said, you can't do this anymore. Well, why not? Is it running it? No, they're like, we don't want you to talk and be recorded any longer. But I thought it was free. It is. It is free. Every minute, some person starts a podcast and anybody can do it except for Meghan Markle. Now, why would we give her a cooking show? She couldn't pull off a free medium, but we're going to hand her $100 million deal. I think the $100 million deal was first, to be fair. I mean, she got $20 million, I think, for that Spotify podcast. She should have to give that back. Could you imagine being so bad at something that people would go, can you stop doing this? I mean, it would be like, in New York City, we got a lot of street performers, right? People just playing guitar in the subway or violin or whatever. Can you imagine somebody coming up to you going, can you stop doing that? I know you have the ability to do it. I know nothing's physically stopping you from doing it. But you're so awful. You need to leave. I know you couldn't make it on a real stage, so you came to a subway to play, but you're not even good enough for this. Could you imagine if that happened to somebody? That was Meghan Markle. They were like, I know this doesn't really, outside of the money we paid you for your name, doesn't really cost us anything, but it's costing us too much. Free is costing us too much with you. That's how dull and boring she is. She lost her own podcast. There's nothing more insulting than that. There is nothing. This would be like, oh, I like to crochet at home. My sister, she's like, I like to crochet. I looked at her stuff. I'm like, oh, you're like really good at this. Could you imagine crocheting and somebody going, oh, you need to stop crocheting. And they go, but it's my hobby. I just like it. I'm not forcing it. Yeah, but it's not, you have to stop crocheting. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? I know that's your thing. I know you like doing crossword puzzles, but honestly, you're so awful at doing crossword puzzles. You have to stop. Can you imagine somebody taking away your pencil and your crossword puzzle book? That is what happened with her podcast. And you have people out there going, stop bullying her. Nobody's bullying her. She could end all of this by just going away. Right? I don't wish bad on her. I just want her to go away. This isn't for you. You got a pile of money. You got your husband. You got a couple beautiful kids, I'm sure. Go figure out something else. Do something else. Because you in the public eye, it's driving me crazy. Between that and my cholesterol, I don't know what's going to take me down first. Speaking of that, comment below. What's going to end humanity first? Is it the AI robots or is it the fact that Jurassic Park is about to become a reality? What's going to end humanity first? The AI robots or the dinosaurs? Because on the cover of Time magazine, let me bring this up for everybody. On the cover of Time magazine, they have the story of bringing back an extinct species known as the dire wolf. Yeah, I can't believe this. Here, take a look at this. Oh, it was there and then it was gone. Hold on. There we go. Time magazine, right there, extinct with a big red line through it. This is Remus. He's a dire wolf, the first to exist in over 10,000 years. Endangered species could be changed forever. Let's go over to Science Girl on X. Her post is a video of some baby dire wolves in the lab. Take a listen to this. Wait, can you guys hear that? Hold on. Did that go through? I don't know why this is not working. Oh, it's adorable too. Did you guys hear the wolves just now? Hold on, let me try and do this again. It wasn't working right. I looked over and I didn't see. Hold on. There they are. Okay. Here are the wolves from Science Girl on X. Here, take a listen. They sound like seagulls. Unbelievable. Science Girl says, you're hearing the first howl of a dire wolf in over 10,000 years, back from extinction, using ancient DNA from fossils up to 72,000 years old. Colossal reconstructed a full genome through precise CRISPR edits, whatever the hell that means, and brought this species to life. Can you imagine an extinct species from old DNA reconstructed and brought back to life? Where have I seen that before? It's the plot to Jurassic Park. So now everybody's on social going, well, if they can bring the wolves back, how far away are we from literally bringing back dinosaurs? Which makes my question stand. What gets us first? The newly recreated dinosaurs or the AI robots? I don't know what's going to end us first, but it's going to be one of them. I mean, it's going to be one of them. I cannot believe we're living in a world where we watch a movie and then 20, 30 years later, God, I'm so fucking old. About 30 years later, it's a reality. I mean, we are living under the most unbelievable times. An extinct species entirely brought back to life in a lab. That's unbelievable. By the way, these are the same wolves in Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones brought them back. And then science brought them back, literally. Paul says, Google it, and CRISPR is crazy shit. What is it? That sounds to me like a... Is it spelled with an ER or is it spelled CRISPR? Because that's how Science Girl spelt it. But that sounds like a new like chip with ranch on it. Like, try new Ritz Crispers. They're delightful. Now with 40% less gluten. The direwolf is a species that disappeared 13,000 years ago. Direwolf pups, aptly named Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, were successfully born using DNA from ancient direwolf fossils and genes from their closest living relative, the gray wolf. The extraordinary results were revealed today by Colossal Biosciences, the same Texas-based genetic engineering company that created the adorable Colossal woolly mouse. Colossal CEO Ben Lamb said, quote, our team took DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull and made healthy direwolf puppies. It was once said any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Today, our team gets to unveil some of the magic that they are working on its broader impact on conservation. That's amazing. Does this mean that we can have straws now without having to worry about the turtles? Because if we could bring back the turtles, can we use DNA to develop a turtle that has little grates on their nostrils so that the straw doesn't go up there, so that we could drink like normal human beings without paper straws that last 10 minutes. I want to save the turtles. I am willing to go through shitty straws to stay on the right side of the turtles. Okay. I've watched far too much Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to turn on them at this point. So I am sticking with the bad straws. I'm just saying, is there anything else we could do so that both the turtles and the straw sucking community can be happy? Let's just not take anything off the table. But this is amazing. And if they could do this from a tooth and a skull, I mean, come on. You telling me that they're not already working on the dinosaur version of this? And some crazy asshole like Elon is going to be like, yeah, I got the money. I could pay a bunch of scientists to sit around and try and recreate a dinosaur. We can make that work. We can make that happen. You know, like there's got to be somebody working on it. They obviously didn't say that, but there's got to be somebody working on it already. Okay, CRISPR with no E. What is it? All right. I will look this up. You know what? We're all going to learn together because I feel like only 3 people know what CRISPR is. I would also like to not take it off the table about this being a new Ritz cracker, which would be nice. Okay. CRISPR, clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. I need a nap. That was a lot. I get why they shortened that to CRISPR. Is it gene editing technology derived from a bacterial immune system, allowing scientists to precisely edit DNA by cutting and modifying species sequences? Holy shit. Oh my God. Does that mean we can create a wolf person? Wolfman could be real. A dinosaur person. See, once they get a hold of this, who's going to want to have a regular kid when they can have a half human, half dinosaur baby? That would be the best ever. All right, I'm going to give this 2 seconds. Naturally occurring system in bacteria and archaea used to defending it. Okay, how it works. Bacteria capture fragments of viral DNA and store them in their own DNA as memory of past infections. Ooh. These fragments, called CRISPR sequences, are then transcribed into RNA, which guides a protein called Cas9, CRISPR-associated protein 9. Thanks for clarifying that. To find and cut the matching viral DNA, scientists have adapted the system to edit DNA in other organisms using a guide RNA to direct Cas9 to a specific target sequence. You know how dumb you have to be to not even understand the explanation of something? Like, there are people that came up with this. This didn't exist or wasn't discovered, and then somebody worked on it enough until it was a thing and made an extinct wolf. And I'm sitting here reading it, and I don't understand what's happening. I would love to just stand in a room with the person responsible for this, and so we could look at both sides of the spectrum. So this is the greatest part of society, and there's Anne on the other side of it, who won't leave Meghan Markle alone. Some woman's just trying to sell fucking jam to suckers, and this asshole will not let up. And meanwhile, Jen over here is creating, is cutting up DNA strands like a fucking sushi roll, which is all Anthony can think about, and possibly saving our species and humanity altogether. And this waste is worried about fucking dried flowers from Meghan Markle. All right. Anyway. See, this is why we're not given the science equipment, Robin, you and I. This is why we need to stick to jokes. A Caucasaurus, could you imagine how amazing that would be? I would love a Caucasaurus. I hope that the first species of dinosaur that they make is a Caucasaurus, because I would imagine that's a dinosaur that just watches as other things eat. Because if not, we're going to have to fight a real dinosaur. But if that's a Caucasaurus, we might have a chance at getting away somehow.
Fuck you, Hunter.
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong one there. Where's my outro music? There you go. All right. Fun episode. Thank you guys for a Monday. Appreciate that. World didn't end because of the stock market, which is great. But we'll see how Wednesday goes. Who the hell knows? Enjoy your Taco Tuesday. Please try, if you can, and not send me any Meghan Markle stuff. Shy of her exploding on somebody behind the scenes and somebody capturing it on camera or video or audio. Let's take a breather from the Meghan Markle stuff. Sending to your old pal Ant for just a couple minutes. Just a couple minutes. My worst nightmare is somebody creates another Meghan Markle out of this whole CRISPR thing. That would be the worst. Nat, could you imagine 2 of these assholes trying? What do you think the other one would try and come up with to sell us? Probably a crispier Ritz cracker would be my guess. All right, see how it all ties back in. All right, that's it for us. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday. We're back on Wednesday and then Friday, and then hey, it's April 7th. Before you know it, 420 show. Oh my God, get excited. We'll see you guys.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.